Alright. Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy XVI Part 7. Let's load in. I apologize for my tardiness. I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Didn't sound happy. What
Anyway.
do you suppose it could be?
Let's get away from those women for a moment. So, if you'll recall last time on Final Fantasy XVI, for the most part, we spent our time in Phoenix Gate, going through the Apodytery, I think is what it's called, where the Phoenix Dominant normally goes to commune with the ancestors. And, Clive, Jill, and Torgal went in and found some creatures that they need to fight. And Clive then had to reckon with himself, because apparently he's been seeing this cloaked, hooded figure, and it was him the whole time, and so he had to fight a shadow figure of himself, and then a shadow Ifrit, take control of them, essentially. And that kind of makes me wonder if that's something that all dominants have to go through, or just him. Anyway, the thing is, though, is that once that whole particular area was done and Jill and Clive came out, they then switch and they show the brown, cloaked, blonde figure who's been running about, and who we speculate right now is Joshua, an older Joshua. And I can't help but think that, you know, this tactic that Square Enix is using is essentially kind of muddying the waters, deliberately confusing the reader, or the player, whoever is engaging with the story. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not particularly a big fan of that kind of tactic. Yeah, come on, work with me here, YouTube. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of this tactic of deliberately trying to confuse the player. Like, there are certain things that lead them, red herrings, that kind of thing, but this just seems kind of a way to muddy the waters and make things confusing. And I think that's kind of cheap and unnecessary. But we gotta roll with it, so at least we'll see where it leads us. Maybe it will actually lead to something very interesting, and we can forgive the developer for employing such a tactic. So right now, I have to go to Karen. Hi, Zomber! How's it going? I only just started, so don't think for a moment that I've been playing for very long. Like, I've been only been playing for about a minute. Excuse me. Anyway, I was just talking about how Square Enix is deliberately confusing the player. And what I mean by that is that they have, you know, the shadow Clive that Clive faced that was cloaked in brown and hooded, and then you have the blonde person who's also cloaked in a brown cloak and hooded. And they're deliberately confusing people, and I don't think I'm a fan of that tactic. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't have to be straightforward in a, like, you can mislead people, you can kind of, you know, use red herrings and everything. I don't really like deliberate confusion, trying to make things confusing just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But hopefully this will lead to something good, and we can forgive the developer for using such a tactic. I'm assuming it will be good, since of course everyone loves this game so far. And so let's get started.
So what God's forsaken corner of the realm is Sid dragging you off to this time?
Oriflamme.
The holy capital. And what business would you lot have in... On second thoughts, I don't want to know.
Indeed, you probably don't. So what do I actually need here? Like, I had to actually talk to her, but there's nothing that she's selling that I need. Breath of Fire, Heat Wave. I'm not using Heat Wave right now. Cooldown time by 2.7 seconds. Oh, the Lionheart tonic. That's what it wants me to buy. It is said that one's own limits are made to be broken, but that doing so is easier said than done. Fortunately, there are ways of convincing the mind that such improbable feats are not only possible, but readily within reach, this tonic being one of them. Oh, come on.
You'll not find a better price than that.
Don't think I currently have Heat Wave equipped. I do believe I have the Rook's Gambit equipped.
It's better I'll be here. Speaking of Oriflamme, I hear the trading routes leading south have seen more than double the usual traffic. If you ask me, summat foul's brewing, and a tint tires borbile tea. Oh, just go and see Otto, will you?
All right.
I think it's a blacksmith, right? Yeah, it is. Or no, maybe it isn't. It's not. I'm gonna look at my... Nope. Torgal, you're great. Yeah, I can't do anything with Torgal, right? Not really. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so there's the Rook's Gambit. I do have that available. So I got that. I feel like I'm outgrowing this particular Ring of Timely Focus, but I do kind of like leaning on it. The Favor of the Wind. I could just... I have a fair few of these, so I could just... I could just... double up on Rook's Gambit stuff. Gouge. That's the B button. Okay. We'll try this one for now. See how we like that.
Clive, was it?
Take a seat, Clive. I'll fetch you a bowl of brown.
So you're really going through with it? Sid's been talking about bringing down a mother crystal since I've known him. But that's all it's ever been. Talk.
He's convinced it's the right thing to do. We're leaving for the capital shortly.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better moment. Seems the hiding the royalists gave him wasn't enough to dampen old Sylvester's spirits. His legions are on the march again. This time, due south.
Another war.
All as the great Grieger wills it. Bloodthirsty little miss, that one. That's God's for you, innit? Still, might work to our advantage on this occasion. Wars breed chaos. On the front lines, and at home. With a fair wind behind them, a handful of like-minded ne'er-do-wells could melt into the back alleys of Oriflamme. No trouble. It's making it to the capital that's the problem.
The checkpoint.
That's right. Anyone travelling in or out of Oriflamme has to go through Northreach. Lucky for you, I might just know of a way.
This.
Well, no, not that. That gets you an audience with the Dame. And it's the Dame who'll see you safely through Northreach. I'll send a Stolas in the morning, let her know you're coming. We go way back, and she's a true friend of the cause. I'm sure you'll get on like a house on fire.
That's good of you, but... who is this dame, and where will I find her?
She's the proud proprietress of Northreach's foremost house of ill repute, the Vale. And she's quite a woman, if you know what I mean.
A woman. Right.
Don't go blinding her with your charm now, lad. I'll be expecting a full report when you get back.
Oh, Alliant reports unlocked. Alliant reports are now available for viewing by speaking to Goat at the Alliant report counter in the Hideaway's mess. These reports compiled by the cursors contain information on quests currently available across Valistea.
I suppose that's everything. Now to find Gav.
I gotta admit, I find it kind of interesting that, you know, Cid is proposing a very radical thing, you know, potentially destroying these mother crystals, and it only took a very brief conversation with Clive and Jill to get them on board. Like, there wasn't any real back and forth about the matter. But we, the audience, wouldn't necessarily think anything amiss of it because we don't know anything about these mother crystals anyway. I'm sure we'll learn more. But I personally, if I were a part of this, would be going, wait a minute. Before we even destroy these damn things, we need to actually figure out if they're the root cause of our problems or if, you know, there's actually something else at work here. But that's me. Landlocked.
Oh, you're the new lad, aren't you? Goat at your service.
Yeah, Goat.
Well, at the Hideaway service anyway. Otto's put me in charge of reading through the reports sent in by our allies and picking out any problems that might warrant the attention of the curse breakers. Or any other willing volunteers. And there's no shortage of problems, I can tell you.
I know you can't, Zomber.
Well, maybe I don't have to. I'll warrant a strapping lad like you's got people begging him for help wherever you go. Anyway, if you're over the list, just say the word. Reckon you could probably tick off the odd thing here and there. They say little acts of kindness are their own reward. But if that ain't enough, these have got proper bounties on them and all. Me?
Just thrown with it. They don't keep speaking. Me, I do what Otter tells me. Suppose you could say I'm his right-hand man. He's a hard master, but not nearly as hard as my old one was. When that man beat me bloody and threw me out onto the streets to die, it was Otto who found me and took me in.
The way I see it.
And so I help him look after the ledgers, as well as reading through all the reports coming in from our allies across the Twins. And if it sounds like someone out there needs our help, make a note so I can point any willing volunteers in the right direction.
So, what'd you say?
Are you willing? There's no surer way of turning Otto's frown a little less frowny. No.
See you.
Yeah, we're gonna do story.
Take us.
Ah, there's Sid.
Well, 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 someone's in a hurry.
Sorry, Gav.
Just following orders.
Funny, I never took you for the type.
Can't all be as obedient as you, Gav.
Eh?
Fine day for a little mischief, wouldn't you say?
Is this all of us?
Actually, Gav won't be coming.
Just the three of us, then.
Drake's Head is the keystone of the Empire. Oriflamme's in chaos, yes, but that doesn't mean we can march an army through her gates. The fewer our numbers, the better our chances of going unnoticed. And should that plan fail, well, we have our icons to fall back on.
Sid, I don't know if I can. Ifrit still seems to come and go as he pleases.
Ordinarily, priming an icon comes naturally to a dominance. But then, you are no ordinary dominance.
Well, he's still got the blessing of the Phoenix, doesn't he?
Not to mention what he sucked out of Garuda. And did I ever tell you about how he was once the greatest shield in Rosaria? You know, I reckon he could probably cut us a path out of the capital on his own if need be.
Let's try not to find out.
We're less likely to be spotted if we travel separately. I'll meet you in Northreach in a few days. You two behave now.
Okay, can you really blame me for like getting some of these people confused? All three of the men in that cutscene had beards. Similarly cut beards, I might add, even though... Whoops. Apparently I did... Dang it. Oops. There we go.
So, we're meeting in Northreach. But will I find Sid and Jill before this dame finds me?
Ah, you're Sid's man, if I'm not mistaken. Couldn't trouble you for some assistance, could I?
That depends. What do you need?
Some new bearers from Oriflamme just arrived, and it cost Master Quinton a pretty penny to convince their owner to part with them. The man must have been a bloody tyrant. Can't get a peep out of them, try as I might.
They're probably terrified of you.
You're probably right. Dare say it'd take a bearer like yourself to open them up. So, will you have a word with them? Help them settle in?
I can try.
That'll do me. Tell them they're safe, and that if they need anything, they just have to ask.
I'll let them know.
Appreciate it. They're sitting over there, taking a long overdue breather, looks like.
I mean, if I really just need to talk to them, then I can just do that right now.
So you're the new arrivals. Is there anything I can get you? You're safe here. They don't punish people like us for speaking our minds.
Truly. I'm hungry. My sister too, we're starving.
Wait here. I'll fetch you something from the tavern.
Thank you.
I won't be long. You stay here and rest.
It's definitely a little bit odd not having anything to write. And I do have things that I could be writing, but I've been prioritizing getting through my gaming library and also just watching movies that I've never really seen before.
But how did the grocer know his daughter had been stealing up to the vineyard to see the lad?
So, like, I finally finished playing Horizon Zero Dawn. And that was a good one. I'd love to play it for the channel.
Can I have another cup, Daddy?
There'll be none left for me.
How many have I had? Wait, I don't want to know.
I'll have 2 plates of whatever you're serving.
Sorry. We've enough mouths of our own to feed without tending to the wants of outsiders.
It's not for me. It's for some new arrivals.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't see the mark. So you're a comrade. Well, in that case, you may have whatever you require. Take all the bread and wine you want.
That's really all it takes. One look at the innkeeper's mark.
Of course it is. I do as Master Quinton commands, as do we all. And Master Quinton commands that none of his favoured guests be left wanting. Well, don't keep our new comrades waiting. Take what you need and see that they eat their fill.
Bread and wine. Hopefully this will be enough.
And I've also been trying to read more. Like I started reading Pride and Prejudice. I also got through
Don't tell me. Turnips for supper again.
Unless you'd rather have Kizal Green.
Shadow and Bone series.
Did you
I
see?
want to call it Shadow and Blood.
Bearer spoke to a master.
What manner of place is this?
Here. Bread and wine from the tavern.
May we? Truly? Such plenty. Never in all my days.
Brother, this place is like a dream. We sat and no one shouted. We ate and more was offered.
I know. I can't believe it.
You're free now. And the next time you're hungry, you need only ask to be fed.
Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Yeah, that was easy enough, I guess. Let's see, what movies have I caught up on? I watched
What happens to us
Alfred
now?
Hitchcock's Psycho for the first time this year, and Dial M for Murder, also another Alfred Hitchcock movie. I watched Poltergeist just the other day because it was free on Google. And I've never seen Poltergeist all the way through before. So yeah, that's been different. Like actually seeing things, but I do need to get back into writing, and I'm kind of hoping to do that.
Master Quinton will never forgive me if I don't save that crop.
Oh, dang it! That's another quest. I don't want that right now. Let's not do that. I just want to... That's not the map that I want. am I going? Oh, I see. Looks like I come out here. Wrong way. Oh, I forgot. This map is weird. Maybe I can
Sun's
cut
setting
through here.
fast. They'll all be back from the vineyard soon.
Give that stew a stir.
Can I have another cup, Daddy?
There'll be none left for me.
Here we go. Yes. I have been taking a little bit of a break from writing, just to kind of be, because while writing
to ride to Northreach now?
The Dragon's Roar was fun, it was a bit all-consuming, so trying to actually enjoy my life a little bit. But yes, need to get back into writing. A little bit stuck. I need to consult my beta. Overkill! I get it. Yeah, it's alright. I'm just traveling now, so distractions aren't, you know, all that bad. Oh, look. Oh, you know what? I was just like, oh, I can't find my map, but that's a different game that I'm playing. Oh yeah, and I've I guess I'll go kill these.
That's enough.
So just, oh, and I've also, like after the pandemic specifically, I wanted to improve my social life a bit.
Northreach.
So I also went out and did a lot more things with people. Yeah, there. And now I have a nice, great group of friends, but that of course comes with its own, you know, they also want a piece of my time, and you know, just trying to keep things evened out and involved with one thing or another. Oh, the organs. I'll leave them alone.
The soldiers used to speak of a brothel, but that was north of the checkpoint. I hope the dame has friends in the south.
Oh, and a chine of roast antelope.
All from the sea.
Okay, so just straight ahead.
With reds, whites.
With the right to confiscate any objects forbidden by the throne.
Not another step, branded, or you'll be spending the night in a cell.
Yeah, so I can't go in.
Welcome, good... Bugger off, Branded. Can't you see I'm with a customer?
So now we're really like, I guess it's not racism. I guess you'd call it prejudice.
Come, treat yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself. No one will buy anything that's been soured by a Branded's touch.
Are you gonna buy something or not?
You want something, you come back with your master. I won't sell to some stray Branded.
Oh, there we go.
Each one is handcrafted.
A moment, my lady.
A moment? I doubt you could afford even that much of my time. Branded.
My mistake.
No, mine. Upon reflection, you don't have the scent of a Branded about you. The flowers. Otto always did know how to please me. More than Sid ever did anyway. Do you think you could please me, Clive?
You're the dame.
Let us leave such impersonal titles to my less preferred clientele. You can call me... Otto assured me I could trust you. I can trust you, can't I?
You can trust me, yes, but... why would you...
Help you? Because that's what we do. Long ago, Sid did me a kindness when no one else would. I have never forgotten that. Without it, I would not be where I am today. And so, I make it a point to do the same whenever possible. Which brings us here. To the final obstacle between you and whatever it is you seek in the holy capital. I fear the guards are not likely to let a masterless bearer pass unmolested, unless...
Unless...
Unless, of course, his master deigned to appear.
Yeah, Clive, don't be
Yes, that will do nicely. But I shall expect a favor in return.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm not surprised, but come on, Clive. You just traveled through the countryside with Jill posing to be your master. Of course they're gonna do the same trick again.
What the hell are you doing?
Tut tut. We cannot have people thinking I tolerate disobedience from my Branded.
The men who gave me this are no more my masters than you are. But... it's not as if I can hide it.
From the moment you acquired it, that brand has done naught but take. But today, it is going to give you exactly what you want. Just play along.
Yeah, Clive, jeez.
Madame, ill already?
But of course, we must make ready to welcome you, my dear.
And who might this be?
Why, my new escort. The streets aren't safe for a girl, what with all the royalists about.
Well, don't work him too hard.
Well, that rather depends on you now, doesn't it? I'll see you all at sunset.
Oi, hold up. Another fucking Branded. Well, you're lucky you're with the dame. Get out of my sight, filth!
That's it, Clive. Just be the strong, silent type, like you've been pretty much the whole game.
That wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad. They might have recognized me.
But they didn't. And even if they had, they wouldn't have done anything about it. The gentlemen of the garrison are some of my best customers. We have an arrangement. Aye. Now, if you'd care to follow me, we can speak more at the Vale.
Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice.
Did you really think you did? Quest destination nearby.
And if anyone requests her company, tell them she is feeling unwell.
Madame, you look stunning.
As do you, my dear.
Shall I have one of the girls draw a bath?
That won't be necessary. Clive, my darling. Welcome to the Vale.
I mean, it's funny because it's not like this is the first time that Square Enix has used a prostitute's house to in their game. In Final Fantasy VII, of course, there was one very infamous scene where Cloud dressed up as a girl and acted like a prostitute. So... right? Yeah, the twins and the veils. Like, oh, these Game of Thrones names. Not that, you know, Game of Thrones can, you know, have any claim over them, because the twins and the veil is pretty generic. It's just funny.
Thank you for seeing me through the gates, my lady. I am in your debt.
Well, that was the whole point, wasn't it? And I told you, it's Isabel. Whatever wound you so tight, I wonder. It's certainly not Sid's influence.
You, mentioned a favor. What is it you'd have me do? I don't want to keep my companions waiting.
If you mean Sid and the girl, you needn't worry. They have yet to reach the checkpoint. Yes. Otto asked me to help them as well. But to answer your question, I need you to find someone for me. One of my girls. Tatienne has been gone for several days now, having left no word of explanation. And I've begun to fear the worst.
I feel as if I've spent my whole life searching for people. Though I can't say I'm any good at it.
I trust you'll do your best. Oh, and take this. Proof of that trust. And hopefully enough to keep prying eyes from looking too closely at that handsome face of yours. Now, I have matters to attend to at the Iron Flagon. If you find anything, ask for me there.
Man, this game...
probably start here.
This game likes handing out sigils, like, this is a mark of people will know it when they see it.
If the dame has given you her trust, then you have ours as well. Know you are always welcome here at the Vale.
Doesn't seem to take much for, lots of quests around here. It doesn't seem to take much for Clive to gain some people's trust, but that's mostly the influence of some of the companions he keeps.
You wear the dame's brooch. She must trust you.
Enough to have me look for one of your colleagues. A woman by the name of Tatienne.
She's still missing then. Oh, if only I'd comforted her.
You saw her before she disappeared?
The day before. She was in tears. She'd lost her comb. A gift from the dame. It wasn't anything fancy, but you could tell it meant the world to her. You see, Tatienne was an orphan, and she looked upon the dame as a mother, as do we all.
So she was upset.
And I didn't lend her my shoulder. But perhaps someone else did. Tatienne shared a room. Her chambermaid may have seen something. She's over there, sitting by the pond.
Thank you.
Well, yeah.
See what her chambermaid can tell
And
us.
not only are you the only one that can do it, but you do it, and more often than not, you get it done in a pretty expedient manner. So, like it was hardly difficult. That's just how good your character is.
Escort the girls have been talking about. And you've already been sent off on an errand, eh? Poor boy. You'll be knackered before the real work begins later on tonight.
I'm told you share a bedchamber with Tatienne. Did she say anything to you before?
Before she went missing. Only that she needed to meet with someone. She did mention a name, but I know exactly who she meant.
You do?
Lad from the garrison. Annoying little shit. Spent every guil he earned on Tatienne, and picked fights with anyone else who tried to buy her time. Followed her around like a lost puppy. Tatienne was flattered at first, but it didn't take long for her to get scared. She thought about saying something. But the dame was so proud of her for how much she was bringing in, and she didn't want to let her down.
This man from the garrison. Did you ever see him?
Of course I did. He tried to sneak into our room enough times. Slimy sod's got a scar over one eye. Claims he got it in battle.
You've been very helpful.
Don't let him get away with this. Find him, and you'll find her.
A man from the garrison. Seems a trip to the barracks is in order.
Trying to decide how much time I should actually spend here doing little quests. I'm assuming that at some point I'll be able to come back, because I kind of feel like just doing story mostly.
How about the veil?
Heard the bones fell favourably. To the Vale, then, is it?
What do you think? Nothing like a quick tumble on another man's coin?
I'm looking for a man with a scar over his eye.
Looking for a man? Does this look like a brothel, Branded? Fuck off!
Hold your tongue. He wears the dame's brooch. One word from him and the Vale's doors will be barred to us for good.
There's only one man in the garrison with a dodgy eye. His name's Yannick. I haven't seen him around lately, though.
On account of him being in war. Yeah, Yannick left a few days back. Said he had dealings with a merchant there.
The dame thanks you. Moore is the last village on the road to Oriflamme. I should let Isabel know where I'm headed.
Likely. Fools there nigh on every night.
So... Oh, look, there's Oriflamme right there. Wow, it's closer than I thought. Yeah, Clive there, of course, just says the dame thanks you. So he's not a total empty-headed numpty. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just focus strictly on the main story for now. I'll think about doing other quests later. You know what? I'm sorry, Bard. I don't want to hear you sing.
Clive, tell me you bear good tidings.
That remains to be seen.
Oh, Tatienne, you could have told me.
This Yannick. The soldiers I spoke to believe he's in the village of Moor. According to them, he claimed to have some business with a merchant there. Though that wouldn't explain his continued absence.
And you plan on traveling to Moor to ascertain the truth?
Isn't that what you want?
Oh, it is, but I fear sending you there may cause more harm than good. The people of Moor are rather set in their ways. You'll find they have little love for bearers, and they will not hesitate to report one such as you to the constabulary. There is a man in Moor who owes me a favor. More than one, in fact. His name is Bertrand, and he works at the stables. Tell him I sent you.
I shall return as soon as I find something.
Yeah, I have to go. Okay, so just north. If I'm being honest, I kind of prefer linear games over open world. Just because open world, especially the way AAA game companies tend to do them, they can be a bit overwhelming. Like, with all those stupid quests to do, and side quests, and, like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just...
Oriflamme, how many bearers suffer to keep your granaries full?
Wow, that's the music here is interesting.
That's enough for today, Branded.
Anyway, like many white women, I do enjoy a good crime documentaries. And this honestly sounds like somebody who got possessive over one of the girls and probably killed her to keep her from, you know, being with anyone else. And he has since fled to a different city so that he can escape justice.
If the people of Moor are as intolerant as Isabel says, it's no wonder the Empire never sent my unit here.
Already half stone.
Are you Bertrand? The dame sent me.
Sounds about right. Only time I hear from her is when she wants something. Well, go on then. What is it?
One of her courtesans has gone missing, and I need to find her. A soldier who may have information on her whereabouts is rumored to have come here to meet with a trader.
Many traders stop to peddle their wares on their way to the capital, but only one's been seen quarreling with a soldier.
Is he still here?
The trader? Oh, yeah. Stubborn sod stood his ground till the soldier got tired of shouting, from what I hear. If you seek him out, keep your head down. Fact is, folks round here would sooner hang a Branded than help him. And that's even with the dame's brooch for protection.
Understood.
I agree. Linear generally means more story, though that's not always the case. Like, you know, Little Nightmares, there wasn't much in the way of story to that game. It was largely gameplay based, but, you know, it was interesting enough.
Weren't expecting any new Branded until the new moon.
You don't think he's a deserter, do you?
I am a deserter.
What's this? A Branded? Where's your master? Must I call for the constable?
I come to you from Northreach, at the behest of the dame. Perhaps you've heard of her.
Why, of course I have. I am the good lady's servant. What is it that she requires of me?
Rumor has it you were seen arguing with a soldier some few days ago. A soldier with a scar over his eye.
Yes, that's right. He had a comb which he claimed was an antique. Said he wanted to trade it for a newer one. But Old though it was, an antique it most certainly was not, as I told him. Nevertheless, he insisted that it was of great value, and was quite vehement about my appraisal. I stood firm, however, and for all his bluster, he still purchased a new comb, albeit an inexpensive one.
And do you know where he went after that?
My customers aren't usually in the habit of telling me whither they are bound, but as it happens, this one did. Yonder ruins, strange as it may sound.
My thanks.
Not at all. I would do anything for the dame. Anything. Be sure and tell her, won't you, that I was helpful. I mean, most helpful.
Yeah, sure. Sure, bud. What is your name?
You are fortunate to have fallen into the dame's good graces, but her influence wanes the further you stray from Northreach. Remember that, my wayward lamb.
I'm not a freaking lamb.
It smells of death here, Torgal.
Oh, because of all the wolves? Yeah.
Wolves. We can't let them get any closer to the village.
Okay, that was kind of funny.
It's over. That's enough. Die! Damn it all. Bodies. A man and a woman.
Kinda sounds like it might be one of those, suicide things.
Well, the wolves have been busy. But the blood is long dry.
There's a comb.
So it is you, Tatienne.
If that's true, then the body next to hers will be Yannick's. The girl Yannick went off to see every night. He said her name was Tatienne.
You? Did you follow me?
Now, why would I do that? Unless you think I'd have good reason to. But no. I was sent to find Yannick. By the looks of things, I have.
We both found who we were searching for.
Nah, he was a jealous sod. Couldn't stand the thought of his woman with someone else. Then one day he sees her with a new comb. Thinks she's got herself a new gallant. Tells the garrison he's gonna find the man and kill him. We know it's all talk, but then he disappears off to Moor for some dealings and doesn't come back.
If you mean this comb, it was a gift from the dame.
If only Yannick had bothered to ask, eh? He might not be rotting on a hill.
I think he meant to ask us something else. He stole the old comb and bought her a new one in the hope they'd wed.
Wed? Where would they have gone? Certainly not back to Northreach with a dame waiting. And we all know what happens to deserters. Tell the dame I'm sorry for her loss. When the lads come to collect Yannick's body, I'll see that Tatienne is delivered to the Vale.
Is that wise?
Oh, there won't be any covering up this mess. The most we can hope for is that the Dame doesn't hold it against us. Speaking of which, I saw her in Moor just now. Could you tell her what happened? Might sound better coming from you.
I need to tell Isabel. Perhaps the comb will give her something to remember Tatienne by.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a very common way for women to die. Well, okay, I wouldn't say very common, but in terms of murder, it's a pretty common way for women to be murdered.
If it was a message that needed delivering, I could have seen to it, milady.
Of course you could, had it not been personal.
Ow.
You are still in one piece, I see. You will be pleased to hear that your companions have arrived. They said they would meet you at a little chapel to the east of here.
Thank you, but you needn't have come all this way just to tell me. I was on my way to see you.
You found her then? I see. My dear Tatienne. It is by no means uncommon for a client to fall for a courtesan. Especially a client who is young and far from home. But rarely do such tales have happy endings.
I found this with Tatienne. I believe it was yours.
Thank you for returning it. I shall see that it has a place on her pyre.
Meteorite.
I should go.
Before you do, I have one last gift. A token of my thanks. The Veil counts among its patrons several high-ranking officers of the Imperial Army. According to one of the looser-tongued gentlemen, it would appear that the legions are planning to march south.
Or to mention the same thing.
But did he mention that it was all of the legions? This is no mere skirmish. Were I to guess, I'd say the Emperor planned to abandon the capital. But that couldn't possibly be true now, could it? Take care, Clive.
I will. And thank you again.
That news is very interesting. We know from the story that, sorry, I just want to see... Okay, that's where we're going. Looks like I have to go behind more. We saw that cutscene in Oriflamme where the council members were arguing and the king...
Weren't expecting any new branded until the new moon.
And the king was just like, hey, we need to march on our neighbors and take the land from them because we need to be able to provide our people since the Blight is encroaching. So we know that they want to take land from the south. But it is still peculiar that they would take the entire legions to do it and leave the capital empty. That sounds very suspicious to me. I would almost say that they're setting up a trap and trying to pretend like they're taking the legions all south. I don't think given how many people actually know Sid, which it seems like everybody knows Sid, I think they might be able to suss out his intentions.
Any trouble on the way?
None worth mentioning.
As I was telling Jill, it's worse than I thought. The capital's crawling with soldiers.
And here I am.
Which is why we'll be taking the back door.
Okay, so that icy looking mountain, is that the mother crystal, or are we talking about something else? The pleasure houses. The music is amusing.
Cheer up, you two. Can't think of a safer place in the Empire than a...
Really? Doesn't seem very private.
So then, how do we proceed?
We'll be using the glass gate. Tonight, just after sunset.
Where the shards are loaded for transport. That is one of the most heavily guarded points in all of Sanbreque.
Most, which is a start. Besides, I know a shortcut straight to the heart.
A shortcut? And how exactly did you come to know about this fatal chink in the Empire's armor?
Let's just say I may have attempted something similar before. And may have ended up running for dear life after being discovered by Bahamut, but that's not important.
Sid, if the mother crystals truly are the cause of the blight...
If? You wound me, Jill.
What I'm trying to say is, if the powers that be know all of this, why do they sit idle and allow it to continue?
In case you haven't noticed, the God-fearing people of this realm and their pious leaders care for but one thing, themselves. And they'll do whatever it takes to hold on to power. The rest of us are just a means to an end. The moment you raise your voice against them, you're decried as an outlaw, clapped in irons and slung in a cell to rot.
An outlaw.
Whoever controls the crystals controls the realm. But our kind can wield magic without them. To our rulers, we must seem the most convenient of tools, and the most dangerous.
But what makes them think they have the right to use us? To leave us to die when our bodies are spent?
Does a nobleman weep for a broken mug? A torn tunic? Our fate means nothing to them. No, this isn't a battle you can win with words. Believe me, I've tried, but nothing ever gets through. The world is simply not ready to listen. So to hell with talking. If they won't give us a say, we'll decide our fates another way. You can't blame a man for wanting to bring an end to all this, can you?
I can't. But what of all the people you mean to rob of their comforts? Are you happy for them to call you outlaw?
Sid the outlaw. Ah, that'll do me.
What about your
Might
daughter?
at least pretend to take this seriously.
Have a little faith, Jill. Even if you don't think much of my choice of digs. If it means my deeds will be remembered, I'll gladly play the role of villain.
Okay, Harvey Dent.
First, we have a gate to crash. And once we're in, there'll be no turning back. So you best make ready. The world won't save itself.
I thought we were in Oriflamme. Are we not? Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see. Martha's Rest. Eastpool. Yeah, that's the name of the village I forgot. Okay. I see a whole bunch of quests that we could do. I'm not really interested in doing them right now. Let's move forward. You have reached a pivotal moment in the story. If you continue, you will not be able to return. Actually, I have a question, Zomber. Obviously, it's, I have about another half hour of play. There will be points here on out where I'll be able to save within the next half hour, right? It's not just gonna be story, story, story with no pause. Also, does this mean, since this is a pivotal moment in the story, does this mean that all these quests that I'm kind of leaving languishing will never, will go away? I always get a little bugged out when, you know, games do this kind of thing, because points of no return are... They're probably... And even this particular point of no return is probably not as big as it's making itself out to be, but... Now I'm curious, is this a crystal? What is this? What about this one out here? Are we gonna learn more about these? Well, I guess screw it. The quests are not that important to me. I just, I'm always a little bit leery to go without doing too many quests, simply because it's a great way to level up and be, you know, either ahead or at the game's, like, level. Anyway, I'm gonna at least read this. Drake's Head, Oriflamme, holy capital of Sanbreque. In majestic silence has Drake's Head ever stood vigil over the empire of Sanbreque and its bejeweled capital. So in this, the previous cutscene, Cid, of course, was mentioned how religious this particular people is. And what I find most interesting is that we don't know anything about this religion. Like, we've heard of Grieger, who I assume is the god, but we don't know anything about it. Does that mean it's a monotheistic religion? What are its beliefs? What do its apart from the fact that they believe bears are, scum of the earth. And I find that interesting, especially in contrast to Final Fantasy X, where, of course, the religion of Yevon was a huge focal point to that story, and you basically couldn't get away from Yevon because it was just everywhere, and you heard all about it. But in this game, we don't hear anything about any of the religions. So I find the emphasis in comparison, like in Final Fantasy X compared to this, kind of interesting. Okay, let's just go. Yep, let's go.
There are not nearly enough men here.
Then it's fortunate the city guard doesn't take sentry assignment as seriously as you do. This bodes well.
I'll be a first. This may not be such a terrible plan after all.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
Only that your last secret shortcut was nowhere near as secret as you claimed.
Yeah, but that's half the fun of it. Life's too short for perfect plans. You want a plan that'll keep you on your toes, stop you growing old and complacent.
Worked for you, has it?
Clive, my boy, even life's smallest challenges offer the opportunity to grow and to change. You must embrace these moments. Allow them to suffuse your heart with a deep sense of fulfillment.
Narrowly escaping death at the hands of an enemy is not my idea of fulfillment.
Something wrong?
Not at all. Just wondering if the two of you had finished.
Right. We make for the Mother Crystal's heart as planned. Destroy it and the whole thing should come tumbling down.
And if the passage to the inner sanctum is guarded?
Then we embrace the moment and use it to grow and change.
The crystal's curse.
Come on, this way. Try to stay out of sight.
Obviously.
Don't worry, the passage is empty.
I mean, I just find this very suspicious. And, this would not be a good story if everything went right. So I'm gonna assume everything is going to go horribly, horribly wrong. Okay, just making sure there aren't any guards down here before I come down here and steal this. That's fine. Thank you. Ooh, 800 gil. Did you jump up here? It's not letting me actually interact with Torgal.
All right, not quite tempting. Let's get this over with.
Okay, I was waiting to hear.
I swear this passage used to be secret.
Of course it is.
Perfect plans, Clive. Perfect plans.
that won't totally be noticed. Sid, slow down.
And all good things must come to an end. We might have a bit more company from now on.
No, really. I find it curious that you're making me go
Captain,
first.
to arms, men! Summon the cannoneer! At once!
That's enough.
Oh boy. A big boy.
I think this may be the moment I was talking about earlier.
What have we here? More insects come to be squashed? You will find my mortar and I only too happy to oblige.
That's a mortar?
You're a talker.
Then let's shut him up.
Not this time.
Do you feel that? Something in the air.
Ether. It's ether.
Then we better make this quick. Visual rescue.
There we go.
Why won't you die?
Is he?
Bollocks. He's gone Akashic.
He's a what? An Akashic?
Poor wretch.
Save your pity. You'll get none in return. There's nothing left of him but hatred and rage.
That's his torment.
Oh, you got all new health, that's why. Jesus. fight through that.
That'll help.
Torgal! Flames to me! Who's that?
Finally, jeez. Used basically all of my healing. Lovely. Flavor of the Inferno, Ignition. I think that's the one I've been using. 12% damage.
I'll never get used to that. Akashic or no, he was still a man. A man who drowned in ether.
It's no way for anyone to go.
Akashic. How did that happen?
Come on.
God, duty's a death sentence in this place. Not that Sylvester cares.
Okay, there we go. I like that move, so I'm gonna put emphasis on it. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and save. Oh.
Breathe deep of the blessing, my friends. Who said being a dominant doesn't have its benefits?
Sid, this is an ether flood.
There shouldn't be one here, should there? The workers couldn't survive this.
Well, it wasn't here last time, I can tell you that. Which means we need to be quick. The ether won't hurt us, but I'd rather not find out what it's done to everyone else.
Oh yay. A new high potion. Well, I'm gonna keep Torgal on my thing right now. I can't use his heal outside of battle. That's kind of... The game is all about finding the move that works best for you.
Too far gone. The ether's made monsters of them. All we can do now is put them out of their misery.
Isabel said she thought the Empire might be planning to abandon the camp. Could this be why?
She said you could call her Isabel. Never mind. If ever there was a reason to up sticks, an ether flood would be it. Those guards at the gate. They weren't there to keep people out.
They were there to keep the Akashic in.
So all these people are this Akashic who have been exposed to too much ether. Okay. Yeah, we can't go this way, so back over here. Uh-oh. What's gonna happen here?
Doesn't look that far. Right. Yo. Whoa. Some help.
Hold on.
Not quite as spry as I used to be.
I'll take that as a thank you.
Look on the bright side, eh? At least you won't get lost.
What does that mean? War Cry. Some opponents will use the ability War Cry to invigorate themselves, enhancing their performance in battle. Look for the sword up icon and try and defeat them before they can deal too much damage. For a moment. Oh crap. Is that everything? I was afraid for just a moment that I'd fall off here, but I guess this isn't necessarily a death sentence. Okay, this kind of looks like to go here. So let's go back this way to see if there's anything worth picking up. Oh, and I see an item already. So I was assuming this would explain why they're having trouble getting crystals for people to do things like chill their catch, because they can't access the mines because it's flooded with ether. But then, can this ether, or maybe they don't have the technology at the moment, but the Blight is all about, you know, ether being leached from the land, and yet there's all this ether down here. Is there a way to, like, filter it? Or move it? Clearly there isn't at the moment, because it's all here. Ocean. Aha. Well, we won't have to worry about crossing that bridge. So we're right. Potion.
Better already.
There we go. This appears to be a dead end. And I got 3 of them. Nice. Did Sid just call me a show off? Certainly seems that way. Okay, so I thought this took us back to the beginning, but maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh boy. Trying to kill this guy? Yeah, before that guy shows up. Hey, I was healing.
A little help.
Better than the cannon guy. I was a little worried it wouldn't. Isn't there a concern about drawing in too much ether? Like, didn't Benedicta draw in too much ether? This area is not flooded. Oh. Yeah, it is.
I see they replaced that wooden door with something a little more sturdy.
Coral sword. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. It's better. Excuse me, it's better than my flame tongue. So I guess we'll go with that for right now.
count of 3?
What happened to 2?
Ask 1.
Once more.
Aye, seeing as you're trying now. As if that was going to keep us out.
Ah, so Clive does have that ability to just create a ball of flame and have it float in the air behind him. Sharp fang. Nothing over
The mother crystal's just up ahead.
Is it? I can't see a thing.
Well, unless someone's moved it.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys, but it's just about time for me to sign off. And I know this is going to be a big story moment, so I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to leave you on a cliffhanger. Thank you so much for joining me, especially you, Zomber. I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone's had a really good time. Final Fantasy XVI has definitely not disappointed so far. And I do like the more adult tone that it's set compared to most of the rest of the installments. I'm not saying the rest of the installments are bad or anything, just I don't know. There's something about this kind of like political fantasy thriller that I just really enjoy. So, thank you so much. If you could like and subscribe, I'd be extremely grateful for your help. I'm always looking to grow this channel. Have a good night, everyone, and good night, Zomber. You have a good one. Cheers. This is Lynn, signing out.